Good morning everyone, and welcome to another video by Rideshare UK. Right, now we've got some good news for all of you TfL drivers in London, and this news is just hot off the press. Right, you know, if this channel was in the newspaper industry, you know, you would have ink on your hand right now. This is how fresh the news you get from this channel. Now I want to talk about OLA actually finally coming to London. Now I've had loads of requests on this channel, you know, saying when is actually OLA coming to London, and you know, I didn't know, and that's probably the reason I didn't, you know, fulfill that request. Right, also you'd know that on my channel I don't give recommendations to anyone to join any firms, and that's the main reason for that is because I like to do my own due diligence. You know, I'll look at the company, what their plans are, you know, how they market themselves, are they paying any drivers, you know, all them sort of things. But I gotta say, this OLA company, which has been in Birmingham for the last, what, 2-3 months, I can't know exactly the date, actually passes all my tests there. And as I said, other companies, you know, I look for the nitty-gritty, the telltale signs of companies when I do want to recommend a company. You know, you look at MyWhip, for instance, you know, their slogans, it's a London company for London people. For me, you know, this is not good. You know, it doesn't work. You know, we're in a generation of globalization. You know, for a company to succeed, you need to have, you know, you can't have that narrow-minded approach. And then obviously you got the likes of Captain. Now with Captain, what I didn't like, the marketing aspect of Captain, you know, there was too much negativity where they went into bashing Uber, how, you know, Uber doesn't pay tax in this country. But the reality is, right, people don't care that anymore. People know all this. You know, you look at Amazon and Starbucks, and they know that straight away. So that is fairly old news, you could say. Then you've got the rest of them, which I totally ignored. And the reason I ignored them was basically, as soon as they say, we will kick Uber out, you know, that just says to me, you know, you haven't got a clue. As soon as you say, you know, we'll take Uber out, you know, you're clueless. But OLA seems to be a bit different. You know, something I never had, heard OLA say anything about Uber. They seem to be just focusing on their own goal. As I said, we've been here about 3 weeks or so, 3 months or so, and I've never had any problems with the payment side of things. And I like the way they're actually getting that national, you know, expansion. As I said earlier, you know, this game isn't, you know, people don't just stay in a certain area anymore. You know, they'll live in Birmingham and they'll go and work in Liverpool. They'll, you know, work in Liverpool, but they'll live in Newcastle, whatever, you know. People these days, you know, they just go everywhere, and you know, unless your app is adapted to, you know, having certain taxes in all over the UK, you really, as a company, are going to struggle. But OLA, they seem to have a very nice, you know, expansion plan, which I like. The other thing as well, the management. They seem to be very understanding, actually. You know, you could actually go into a green up and actually talk to a management. Not that I'm saying Uber doesn't do that. You know, I want to be fair. I don't. You know, this is not a channel where we bash Uber or anything, because Uber has taught this industry more than any other. You know, more than the whole taxi trading. This however long they've been here, Uber's come along and actually taught everyone a lesson. So the management on OLA are very good. I suppose there's a few things actually. One of the things is like the app of OLA. Now that needs a bit of tweaking, but on the whole, I do actually prefer it over the Uber one. And the main reason for that is because it resembles a lot of the old Uber app, and which, well, like you could say, I'm in love with. Really, I love their old Uber app. I hate this new app. So you'll be good to analyze actually how they approach London, what their launch strategy is. I'm hoping they've learned a lot from Birmingham. They found out firstly that there was no shortage of drivers. You know, and even more in London. You know, God's sake, in London, right? You know, all you have to say is, right, I'm opening a taxi company, and you don't even have to have a license for TfL or anything, and the drivers will be just queuing up. You know, that's the London drivers mentality. You know, all you have to say is, I'm opening, and they'll be lining up. So, you know, there's no shortage of that. Well, they messed up in Birmingham. They initially had a recruitment at Villa Park, and then they exploded themselves with the marketing, and they just couldn't cope. Then they rushed another second recruitment drive at Birmingham City Football Ground, and they even recruiting for the third time running at the Villa Ground as well. You know, they can't keep recruiting at stages. You really need to have the bulk, and then when the demand comes, when the supply comes, sorry, you know, you'll be able to meet the demand with the amount of drivers you got. And we did get drivers complaining, passengers complaining. You know, people saying, oh, you know, we can't get Ola all the time, and Uber is faster. You know, if we have time, then we'll order an Ola. But that's not the way to forward. You know, not for a company. You can't have passengers saying that. So I would say, if they'll think of launching in London, you gotta recruit around 30,000 drivers, then do the marketing. But the secret is, you gotta keep them drivers informed. You know, drivers are the most impatient creatures anywhere. So it's definitely my recommendation, first one ever. What I'll do also, I'll leave a link to how you join Ola. If you only use my code, it's all up to you guys. You know, if you want to do it. I'm not one of those YouTubers that think, you know, you should be using them because you've heard from them and everything. But if you do, I get £100, but that £100 I give straight back to charity. And I think I've had 4 already, and again, I've emailed the guys back and said, look, you know, this is with the receipt, and saying this is where my charity has gone to. But that's all up to you. You know, there's no pressure on that side of thing. Now, obviously, you guys think, well, when is the actual date? Well, I'm not going to mention that, because remember Ola, on my video I done last year, they said, you know, they would have been national by the end of 2018, but obviously we're in mid 2019 and they're not there yet. So, you know, I'm not going to give you that date, but trust me guys, you know, it is very, very near. Right, so I hope this video updated for anyone who wants to know, is Ola coming to London? It is, and you know, you'll enjoy Ola there. Actually, I think it's probably London made, but obviously there's a lot of competition there. But these guys, you know, they know all about competition. They fought with Uber in you know, in India, and you know, they still have the bigger market down there. So it's not a joke company. It's a very serious company, and it needs to be taken seriously. And you as a driver also needs to take them seriously as well. This isn't, you know, but it's one of those apps you gotta have on your mobile. If anything, you should be really realistically working from 2 apps maximum, and obviously Uber's going to be one of them. You know, Uber will always be one of them, and hopefully when Ola gets everything sorted, you know, that's you're going to have Ola. You're going to ditch all the others, because you know, they're not all that, but these companies are, these 2, Ola and Uber. So I'll definitely say thumbs up for them 2 companies. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys till the next video. Bye bye now.